Folks, I believe these three defense stocks under $10 are screaming buy right now. $924 billion in proposed U.S. military spending for 2026, active conflict with Iran, and three stocks under $10 sitting directly in the path of the biggest defense spending surge in American history. One of them is the AI brain powering U.S. military decision-making right now, with a former Secretary of Homeland Security as CEO. One of them just won a U.S. government subcontract to supply AI-powered edge processing systems directly to the U.S. military, and is the only company doing what it does from American soil. And one of them is powering the batteries inside military drones, with technology so advanced the U.S. Army and Air Force have been specifically testing and procuring it for tactical deployment. I am not going to tell you which is which yet. The one I am saving for last stopped me cold when I read what their technology actually does inside a military drone. Now I am going to present my case, and you go do your own due diligence and be your own judge. Make sure you subscribe right now and hit that bell icon. Every single day I bring you the freshest stock analysis here on Stock Alerts Daily. Do not miss a single one. Stock number 1. This company has been quietly building something the entire U.S. military depends on right now. Not weapons, not vehicles, not missiles. The AI that tells military commanders where to move troops in real time. The AI that identifies threats at border crossings in 30 seconds. The AI that tracks hundreds of thousands of soldiers and billions of dollars of equipment across the entire globe simultaneously. This is not a chatbot. This is not a consumer AI company. This is mission-critical AI decision intelligence, built specifically for the U.S. military and national security agencies. The company has three core modules. Module 1, Observe. Pulling in massive streams of sensor data, satellite feeds, biometric scans and surveillance data, and turning pure chaos into actionable signal. Module 2, Orient. Pattern recognition and threat identification, doing in seconds what used to take human analysts days or weeks. Module 3, Dominate. Turning raw intelligence into direct recommendations for decision makers. A battlefield commander gets a recommendation. A customs officer gets a risk score. Whoever has better information faster wins. That is the entire thesis. Now the anchor contract. The U.S. Army Global Force Information Management System, the AI backbone, tracking whether the U.S. military has the right soldiers, the right equipment, and the right resources for every single mission, running anywhere on the planet right now. Without it, the process is a spreadsheet nightmare. With it, it is a live, intelligent, automated system that flags critical gaps before they become disasters. The special angle. In January 2025, this company brought in Kevin McAleenan as CEO. This man was the acting Secretary of Homeland Security under Trump's first administration. He personally oversaw 240,000 government employees, including CBP, TSA, the Secret Service, the Coast Guard, and CISA. The entire Homeland Security apparatus of the United States. And now he is running this under $10 AI stock. With the Iran conflict driving defense AI spending to record levels, you have a CEO with a direct line to the people writing the biggest defense contracts in American history. The numbers. $462 million in cash, debt reduced by 90%, $376 million contract backlog, revenue guidance for 2026 of $135 to $165 million. Average analyst price target $5.50, nearly 30% upside from current levels. Obviously small cap, volatile, real risks. But a company at the intersection of AI and national security, with a former Secretary of Homeland Security as CEO and $462 million in cash, is not something you walk past. The company is BigBear.ai Holdings, ticker symbol BBAI. Check NASDAQ.com for the current price before making any decisions. But stock number 2 is completely different. This company just won a real U.S. government contract, not a pipeline contract, not a letter of intent, an actual signed subcontract to supply AI-powered systems directly to the U.S. government right now. Stock number 2. There is a company that most retail investors have never heard of, and last month they announced something that stopped me completely in my tracks. They were awarded a subcontract under a $1 million U.S. government program to supply AI-powered edge processing systems directly to the U.S. government. Now, $1 million is not a large contract, but here is why it matters enormously. This is not a company hoping to win government contracts someday. This is a company that just delivered AI-powered defense technology to the U.S. government under a real subcontract. That is proof of concept. That is proof of capability. That is proof that this company can execute in classified government environments. And that first contract is almost never the last. This company develops AI-enabled defense technology for detecting and neutralizing threats. Their platform focuses on explosive ordnance disposal and threat detection using artificial intelligence to identify and categorize dangerous objects faster and more accurately than human operators. In a world where the Iran conflict has introduced new types of improvised explosive threats and drone-based attacks, this capability is not a nice-to-have. It is a national security requirement. 3 core capabilities. Capability 1, AI threat detection. Machine learning algorithms trained to identify explosive devices, drones, and other threats in real time from camera feeds, satellite imagery, and sensor data. Capability 2, edge processing. AI that runs without cloud connectivity, in classified environments and forward operating bases where internet access is restricted, their systems keep working. That is a massive differentiator in defense technology. Capability 3, government-cleared operations. The company has been building relationships with U.S. government procurement channels. The subcontract award is the first visible evidence of that pipeline converting into real revenue. The anchor contract. The $1 million U.S. government subcontract awarded in February 2026. AI-powered edge processing systems delivered to the U.S. government. Real contract, real delivery, real government client. The special angle. This company is building government relationships in one of the most urgent categories in modern defense. IED detection and threat identification using AI is a capability every U.S. military unit operating in active conflict zones needs immediately. And the Iran conflict just dramatically increased the number of active conflict zones where that capability is needed. The numbers. Stock trading under $10, market cap under $100 million. U.S. government subcontract confirmed. Revenue growing. Cash position adequate for near-term operations. Obviously very small cap, highly speculative, early-stage company. Real risks. You must do extensive due diligence before making any decisions. But a company that just proved it can deliver AI defense technology directly to the U.S. government is worth watching closely. The company is Safe Pro Group, Inc., ticker symbol SPAI. Check NASDAQ.com for the current price before making any decisions. But stock number 3 is the one I saved for last. And when I tell you what their technology actually does inside a military drone, it is going to change how you think about the entire drone warfare story. Stock number 3. Let me ask you a question. What makes a military drone useful? Most people say the camera, or the payload, or the navigation system. But none of those things matter if the drone runs out of power. The single most limiting factor for tactical military drones right now is battery life. Current lithium-ion batteries force drone operators to land and recharge after minutes of flight in cold environments. They add weight that reduces payload capacity. They lose performance at altitude. They create fire risks when damaged. And there is one company that has solved all of those problems simultaneously with next-generation silicon anode battery cell technology. Their batteries store significantly more energy per unit of weight than any traditional lithium-ion cell. They perform dramatically better in cold temperatures. They charge faster. They last longer per flight cycle. And they are being tested and procured right now by the U.S. Army and Air Force for deployment in tactical drone systems. This is not future technology. This is technology the U.S. military is buying today. This company has 3 core divisions. Division 1, Military Drone Power. Silicon anode battery cells, specifically designed and qualified for tactical military drone applications. The U.S. Army and Air Force are actively testing and procuring these cells right now. Division 2, Commercial Aviation. The same silicon anode technology is being developed for commercial aviation applications, including urban air mobility and electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. A completely separate multi-billion-dollar market developing alongside the defense business. Division 3, Manufacturing Scale. The company is actively expanding manufacturing capacity to meet growing defense procurement demand. The Anchor Contract. U.S. Army and Air Force procurement programs are actively testing and purchasing silicon anode battery cells for tactical drone deployment. Real government procurement. Real delivery. Real defense revenue building. The special angle. 1 year ago, this stock was trading at $2.10. Today it has moved dramatically higher. That kind of move on a small-cap defense technology stock does not happen without serious institutional accumulation. And the drone fleet that is driving that demand is just getting started. The numbers. 2 analysts cover this stock. Consensus buy rating. Price target implying meaningful upside from current levels. Obviously small cap. Volatile. Real risks. Battery technology manufacturing involves significant capital and operational complexity. But a company whose technology is literally inside the drones the U.S. military is deploying in active conflict right now is a story worth understanding completely. The company is AMPX Technologies, ticker symbol AMPX. Check NASDAQ.com for the current price before making any decisions. Let me bring this all together. 3 defense stocks, all under $10, all directly in the path of the biggest defense spending surge in American history. BBAI, the AI brain of the U.S. military. Former Secretary of Homeland Security as CEO. $462 million in cash. 30% analyst upside. SPAI, AI-powered threat detection. U.S. government subcontract just awarded. Edge processing for classified environments. Real contract, real delivery, real government client. AMPX. Silicon anode batteries powering military drones. U.S. Army and Air Force already procuring. up dramatically from $2 in 12 months. And the drone fleet expansion is just getting started. Obviously, all three are small cap stocks. Volatile, risky, not guaranteed outcomes. You must do your own research. But I think if you are not paying attention to these three defense stocks under $10 right now, you are going to be regretting that in a couple of years, if not sooner. That is your three defense stocks under $10, BBAI, SPAI, and AMPX. If this video gave you value today, hit that thumbs up right now. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss our daily stock alerts here on Stock Alerts Daily. Drop a comment below which of these three has your attention right now. I read every single comment. See you tomorrow with another fresh analysis. Do not miss it. And as always, nothing in this video is financial advice. These stocks are shared for informational and educational purposes only. Always do your own research. Always check NASDAQ.com for the current price before making any decisions. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal.